Hey, I'm glad some people can actually find us. I'm not really sure what just happened. I think we'll just blame, like everyone else, would do. That was the Men in Black. Clearly,
Yep.
it was a sabotage job. I'm not really sure what happened.
Either that
Everything,
or the devil.
it could have been, or Bigfoot. Could have been either one of those things. So let's pull some people in here. Sorry we got a little late there, guys. We had some tech issues. Um, Still don't know what happened, like I said, but we lost the original feed. It completely disappeared, and now we have a new one. So share that out so we can get some people back in here, and we'll get this thing started up. Share. Let's see. I'm going to go over to the page. Let's share it over here on. Well, the radio's already got it shared, right? Okay, cool. So let's go over here. I'll put up my personal. All right, that works. Okay. All right. Yeah, we got it. Hello, Teresa.
I see we got our two usuals.
Okay, yeah, we're good. Yes, we have Spooky, we have Teresa here, and Teresa found herself the room all by herself. I'm so proud of you guys for finding us there. I'm like I said, I don't know what just happened. We got a really weird thing that happened, but that's what happens when you go live. Weird stuff happen. So,
Like the
uh,
unexpected.
yeah, expect the unexpected. Yeah, exactly. So this is live number 5, and we're going to be touching on some interesting stuff tonight, right, Brandon?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
Really weird stuff too.
really weird stuff. Yeah, there's a little bit of weird stuff going on. I'm not really sure where Joe's at. He's out there somewhere floating around the ether. um, we sent him a link, so hopefully he makes it. It'd be
I
great
think
if
a
he does.
Bigfoot got him.
Bigfoot could have got him. We did do that yesterday. We went up and filmed, um, and went back to Wineberry actually, and it was a nice place. Nothing eventful, I would say, but
Nice day.
it's a beautiful day. Some interesting things, but you have to wait and see how that turns out. Um, there we go. Yeah. If you have not done so, make sure that you do go over and like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Leave comments where you can. There are all the places you can listen to the podcast. And of course, you found us here on our YouTube, which is our preferred place because we can do a little bit more over here, and we have a little bit more leeway to let you guys see some of the cool stuff that we're doing, like behind the scenes kind of
Yes.
stuff and whatnot. So it's a lot more fun. So yeah, make sure that you do like, subscribe, and all that stuff, and hit that notification bell because we are always putting new stuff up there. Um, Brandon, what do you want to do the news? I mean, we only have like a couple people here, but maybe by the time we get up the news, we'll have a few more. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think? You guys, you good for the news? Everybody good? Yep.
Let me
Okay.
pull up that
You got it?
one article that Joe sent like an hour ago. That was really interesting.
Yeah, go ahead. Pull it up. You're going to do the news. So
So
you're good with that. So we're going to let you do that.
they
Let's get our.
have.
See?
Oh,
Hold on.
sorry.
Nope, I'm just setting you up. And go ahead. Yeah, there's no fancy
Oh,
intro
okay.
live, so you're good. Just
See,
go ahead.
people, this is what happens when you're live. You don't know what you're doing. So,
Yeah, man, it's all good. It's all good. So just have fun.
so there was an article that came out earlier today that scientists have been out there excavating Karahan Tepe. They've actually been doing a mass excavation over there to try to age it,
Hmm.
but they can't quite get there yet. But the stuff they have found so far makes them believe it is much older than Göbekli Tepe and probably even older than we think it is right now.
Yeah, that's right. Karen Tepe actually is older, as is if that's correct, and it does look like it's correct. If you look at the geology, not the geology, I guess, but the structure, the
Yep.
composition, the way that they built it, it almost looks like that was the first one, right? And then they moved over to go back, which is like 25 miles away, something like that. Go back to Tepe. It's not very far.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not very far away at all, and it's a very good possibility that you know that's where they came from. That's that was their first settlement and whatnot. So yeah, it's definitely a awesome realization. There was not too long ago, I believe it was this season actually. Ancient Aliens covered Karan Tepe.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but one of them actually went out to the site and took a little tour of it and they were still digging when they did the tour of it.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I forget who it is also, but they were actually very instrumental in discovering it. So it'll come to me later when we're not thinking about it. But yeah, it was really it's a really cool site. It definitely predates it. The Mothman cam is back again. Greetings, children of the moth. Greetings, Mothman cam.
Blesses us with his shiny cheeks.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, they did release some pictures too of what they've dug up so far, and I think it's interesting. That place has almost the exact same vulture carving where it's holding that little ball, but it
Man,
also resembles a lot to me of the Birdman carvings from South America.
and Easter Island.
Yeah,
Let's not forget the Birdman of
really
Easter
identical.
Island. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you've got that same thing that's being repeated again. These same underlying symbologies. It just makes perfect sense to me that you are dealing with something that is very, very related to the first people. Is what I'm kind of getting at, or maybe the first tribes. Cities.
It makes you wonder, like, their current understanding of that particular time period. We
Mhm.
weren't supposed to have boats.
No,
We couldn't travel very far distances.
correct.
Society was supposed to barely exist if it even existed at that
Um,
point.
yes, and I
But
do believe that it's also been attributed to hunter gatherers, right? Isn't it?
yep,
Yeah. And you and me both know that that's not how that works. You've
it
got to
almost
have
seems like there was like a worldwide culture going on during this period of time. But we don't really have any idea of how
again.
they even did that.
That goes right along with the legends of Lemuria, Atlantis, these lost civilizations that were there, and the people left and they settled in these other places. Could those people who did Karan Tepe, could those be the some of the survivors? Like we've
Yep.
talked about that before in Fallen Worlds, on the Survivor issue or episode, sorry, on the episode of Survivors. That's what we were talking about. Could those be the colonies, And they left those. And we know that Göbekli Tepe is so amazing because, Brandon, you've seen the images. Those circles are there. And what's really amazing about all these sites, they were buried and new ones were built on top in a concentric, it's like they were trying to mark or target, or they were observing something, and they had to erase this and start all over. It's very there's a lot to it, and it's an amazing thing. If you are interested in Göbekli Tepe and Tepe, definitely look into it because it'll make you think. It'll definitely make you think because they're pushing back modern humanity now by how many thousands of years is it? I mean, compared to what it should be, it's ridiculous. Because I think it's like 15,000, right? Is that what they're thinking?
Yeah,
Something like
it's
that.
really old.
Yeah, 15,000. Yeah. And Gobekli was 10,000 something. So yeah. Which
I think
yeah.
with that date that they're proposing, it might be older than that 11 and a
Mhm.
half thousand year ago mark.
Yeah. It like I said, I think it's right around an area where the Younger Dryas event did happen, whatever it was. I think it's right in there. I think those are the people who survived that catastrophe, who built that, and I think that's what a lot of that symbology is as well. It's kind of a warning, you know. And we get that. We get these monuments that are built to watch the sun and make sure that the Earth's in a perfect alignment, everything's going the way it's supposed to go, you know. And it's astronomy, and then it gets interpreted as you know, spirituality and religion, and it's really it's rooted back there. You know, they were trying to watch this stuff and make sure it didn't happen again.
Hey, you see what Patrick said? He said his buddy found a slate polished birdstone at Penn Springs.
What? Wow.
Got a picture of that?
Yeah, I'd like to see a picture of that one for sure, my
Yeah.
friend. Especially the bird. That's very I want to see what that looks like, because okay, so you know, we're going to get off, it's a live show. So we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff tonight, including, you know, our topic, but look, here's the thing. The bird thing. I can't get away from that because of course, you know, we have bird lore here in West Virginia, obviously, you know. We've got Mothman. We've got you know, these tales of these giant pterodactyl type things that are coming down to this day. I mean, we actually received a report no more than 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago it was of the same exact thing, and that's still happening today, right here. So there's something to these birds, and you know, a lot of the First Nations belief is, you know, we get it. It's the Thunderbird, you know. And you go back further than that, the Thunderbird was the guardian of the sky, right? So it's battling the earth elements or the underworld elements. And so, you know, we go back into Mothman, you know, what was the original thing, you know, Tales of the Garuda, or, you know, something like that, right? So, and that's what Garuda is. It's a sky being that carries Vishnu around. Think about that. Just the symbology that just keeps repeating in all these things, man.
Yeah, every
Yeah,
culture has some sort
absolutely.
of bird myth.
Um, I don't know if they had internet in Atlantis, but I bet you they did. I think they had like some kind of, you know, Crystal One, I think was the provider, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm just reading these really quick. Trying to stay up with all you guys.
Birdman Communications.
Birdman Communications. Yes, some people do think the Mothman is a Thunderbird. Exactly. That is very that's what I was kind of getting at, but because it's the symbology, right? I mean, and you know, what people don't really understand is, you know, how we have this I'm getting off on a tangent, I know, but you know how we've adopted the eagle, right? As our big, you know, bird. It's power, it's symbology, you know. But in the ancient days, it was the vulture, and there's the vulture on the vulture stone. I mean, think about it. Just think about it for a second, because these are cultures that should not really be communicating with each other. Yet there they are. They're somehow talking to each other. They're building these empires at the same times. It's just crazy.
Lots of bird symbology in the Bible too.
Yes, exactly. It's the
A
same
lot of it.
thing, and it's the same thing. You know, that's the crazy part about the whole thing. What is it? Someone in Point told me about Mothman and the Thunderbirds. Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, there are people who do believe that. Absolutely, crooked vultures. Yes, Adam, them crooked
Hey,
vultures.
wasn't one of the original names in the papers for Mothman Birdman?
Birdman. Yep, UFO bird thing and Birdman, and there was several different ones, but yeah, it mentioned birds, man. The big bird, big bird. That's it, big bird. So
Years
yeah,
before Sesame Street.
yeah, there's that. So, you know, there's Mothman. Throw it in there. We had to throw Mothman in, didn't we? I mean, we can't
It
talk,
didn't look like a moth at all, but
though it didn't look like a moth at all. Thank you for bringing that up, and you know, focusing on that, because pop culture likes to paint these beautiful moth wings, and you know,
well, to be honest, too, it didn't look much like a man either.
I think Frank Frazetta kind of did that, and you know, when he did the cover, and the redone
So
cover.
good though.
Oh, it's amazing. It's absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. And I think that interpretation is what kind of spurred that on to some people.
Daughter actually recently posted those covers again.
Ain't no Sesame Street, but it wasn't. Yeah, there you go. That's right. That's right. And it wasn't black either. Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Everyone, we've turned it into a we're going to be talking about Mothman apparently, because that's okay with me if it's okay with you.
I mean, I'm down.
For real, you guys, it's we have a topic, but if you guys want to carry it, by all means, yes, we can do whatever you guys want to talk about, answer some questions. I don't care. It's absolutely perfectly fine.
Oh.
Mostly off topic, but I've been collecting articles from West Virginia about the the belled buzzard. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we've got what's he saying? Good things. Here's the stream. Yeah. Here is birdstones were very common among the
Yep.
Adena and the Hopewell cultures. Yes, they were. And you probably know this anyway, Patrick, but I'm going to say it because there's some people who don't. If you do go to Mound City there in Ohio, you're going to see those, and you can still find reproductions of them. Those pipes that they dug up, and some of the bird carvings on those pipes are just absolutely amazing. The raven carving and the blackbird carving, they're phenomenal. And yeah, there was birds are huge, man. Birds are huge, and they mean a lot. And one of the really interesting things about the birds here in West Virginia is we have the owls, right? And most of your First Nations tribes, they were very kind of superstitious about owls, right? So what would happen over here is we'd have our locals, the Shawnee, and they would take advantage of that with psychological kind of warfare, and they would paint these huge, the huge owl eyes on their mandalas, their war shields and whatnot, and ride into battle, and and that kind of gave them the reputation that they had as well. And that is why they're bad mojo, because they appeal to the night, so to speak, and the whole. It's I got to say this, Adam. Sometimes they're not owls, right? Yes, they are. They're bad omens for First Nations, unless you were Shawnee. They didn't. They used it against them, which was really, really clever. So clever. Oh yeah. So you collected arrowheads for 25 years. Yeah. I can imagine, man. I can imagine. I think some of the more amazing things are the artifacts with the carvings, that you'll see every now and again.
One thing I found interesting is when we went to Moundsville a couple months ago, there's actually the historical sign in front of it that says they don't know how old the Adena culture really is.
No, that's true. That is true, and that's a point of contention amongst a lot of archaeologists. They fight back and forth with that. Did you guys have the Cherokee up in that area? We have Shawnee and Cherokee here. Yeah, they were both in here, and I believe the
They
Delaware
were
was
in
in
and
here as
out.
well. There were several different ones, and but mainly, yeah, they would just travel through here. They didn't really settle. That's one of the things. And if they did settle, it was probably way before your modern tribes. You
That
know,
was why you find arrowheads here. You don't really find anything else from them. You don't find pottery really. You don't find like evidence of houses or anything. They just came here to
yeah.
hunt and they left.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about that, and Teresa can probably tell you this, but down in St. Albans, they were doing an archaeological dig several years ago, and they did find remnants of what seemed to be um, like the footings of possibly a dwelling in that area. But
Hmm.
I don't remember much more about it than that. But I do know that where they found all this stuff, they excavated, they went in and did their thing, and then they just left it. They put a sign up and left basically. And there's another one out here by I don't know. It's probably about 2 miles from the Creel Mound. And instead of even doing anything in that area, they just built a parking lot over it and said, "Forget it."
What?
basically. Yeah, they went and did a little ground survey, and they built a parking lot over it. That's how they preserve it, man. That's the best way to preserve it. So they weren't ready for whatever was there. Adam? Check out Mike. Cleland's the messenger. Yes. I want to get Cleland on the show one day. That's been kind of a dream that I want to do. And if people don't know what Adam's talking about right there, um, Mike goes over the theory that sometimes these screen images, possibly, or they're actually real owls. We don't know because there's several different versions. When you listen to his stories of the people that he's interviewed, the abductees, so to speak, that he's interviewed, and the experiencers that he's interviewed, they have seen owls. They all report owls, and it's very interesting. They've either seen them or they've witnessed them, or sometimes the owls will start up outside their house before these things happen. It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing, and I really would like to get him on to talk about that. He believes they're physical owls, by the way, Adam. I know that him and Ray Fowler have gone back and forth a few times, and Ray kind of believes everything's a screen image. He doesn't believe these are actual owls. He believes they're screen images, just like some of the other stuff that people see, like deer, wolves. These are all things that contactees and contacts, so-called abductees, have seen, uh,
Mhm.
and then they kind of, that's what they use to hide, so to speak. And we showed in the past few weeks that that's easy to do now. And with Nolan's research that said, the sphere that looked like a UFO over top the car, and it was just a little sphere, this makes perfect sense now that some of these things are definitely using a camouflage type technique. And some of those owls, they're not owls, guys. That's what I'm getting at. But yeah, I'd love to
Yeah, owls
get
also have
Mike on.
they're also represented in demonology too.
That's right.
I forget which demon it's associated with, but
Well,
I
don't
know that
don't
some
don't
people
don't
that
say his
practice Wicca
name.
are terrified of them.
Yeah, don't say his name. We don't want to summon any demons on the
Yeah.
show. That'd be bad. What do we got here? 40 acres of burials at Island Creek in Summers County. Sorry,
Wow, that's a lot.
40 acres. Patrick, that there was a story. I forget where this was. It's in Kentucky, and this was from. It was from the early settler days when they first came in and they started plowing the land and whatnot. There was a field out there, and if someone remembers what this field is, you'll tell us, because I can't remember the name of it. But there was a field there, and they said that when they would go in to level to till the ground, there were so many bones that it was just unbelievable. And it wasn't a mound; it was an actual burial field. So what they had found is there were these little stones, and every time they find these little stones that popped up, there'd be bones near it. So it was literally a massive burial field, which is, I can't, wow, look at that. My background just went away for
Literally
some
behind the
reason.
scenes.
Hey, check it out, guys. This is behind the scenes. This is here. Green screen's over here. I don't know what just happened. Magic, apparently.
Yeah, I love live.
Hey, hold on to that, and I'm going to go fix this. I'll be right back.
Oh, they were box graves? Huh. Oh, Chief Cornstalk curse. Yeah, probably. If anybody could trigger that, it'd be Ron, right?
Ha ha. You guys are so funny. It probably was. Yeah. What is going on? Start talking about Chief Cornstalk, guys. That's what happened. Let me see if I restart it. Brandon, this will either work or you're going to carry a show by yourself.
Guess everybody, I think Ron has been abducted. If anybody has seen him, let us know. His wife might miss him. I don't know. She might. Oh, hello, James. Hitchhiker effect. Sure. I think it's more likely that he just got abducted.
Yes. See, that's how you do it.
There we go.
All right. So what I miss?
Probably just
Oh, gee, Dewey's
waiting
here.
on what happened to you.
Yeah, Dewey's here. He said box graves. That's right. Yes, absolutely. Um, yeah, Chief Cornstalk cursed tonight. That's right, Spooky. I think you might be right.
So isn't it theorized that one of the reasons they built the mounds was to disgrace their enemies, right?
Okay, I'll go into that. Hello from Braxton County. Hello, James. Yes, yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Hitchhiker Effect. Yeah, thanks. That's awesome, Adam. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Thanks for the data. Uh,
You're on your shirts on backwards.
What? Oh,
Shirts on backwards.
yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it. We're not even going to worry about that. We're not even going to worry about the fact that the screen's mirrored. Everyone, the screen's mirrored. Let's not even worry about it.
Guys, I told her he was abducted.
So anyway, what were you saying, bud? You asked a question.
Oh, the mounds. Isn't it theorized that the Adena buried people in mounds to disgrace them?
Oh, well, it's other tribes that would come through. See, if you ask some of these other tribes that were here, who built the mounds? Did they build them? They're like, no, they were here when we got here. But there were other tribes that would come through to disgrace people. They would literally do that. They would inter their own burials in their mounds. It was, and that's why you can't really date those things the way that we do today, because you're going to find these layers that are just out of historical order. I mean,
Yeah, I think it might be the one in South Charleston. Like one layer is like hundreds of years younger than the layer beneath of it.
Yeah, it does not surprise me. It really doesn't surprise me. Some of the stuff, if you looked at the Krill Mound, you will notice that there was definitely a difference in generations with that mound, because, the way it's built, man, these things are.
Yeah, the burial styles are totally different too.
First general on the spirit. I just seen that. That's funny. But I made it back. Let's see. Guess the bad luck from last weekend carried over. Nah, I don't know. I mean, it's a little better. Let's see. What do we got? Some of them, it would have took years. Yes, absolutely. Yes, many years actually.
Yeah,
Yes.
they think like millions of buckets of earth too to do this.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, how many of you guys have been to Serpent Mound by any chance? Have you? I mean, you're probably there, some of you anyway. But if you go down around the bottom of the effigy off to the side, you're going to find this area on the hill, and there's those who believe that they were mining for something there. I mean, maybe, but they could have also used a lot of that material to make the thing. What is it? Here we go. I've heard some interviews with Native Americans that said Bigfoot built the mounds. And some of those big skeletons in the mounds have been theorized to be just that, James. So, there's that possibility as well. So, yeah, but down there underneath the serpent, you're going to find a dugout area. And if you watched Ancient Aliens, you know there's the guy who tells you it's possibly an iridium mine, because there's iridiums all over that area, because it's built on it's built on the edge of the crater of this massive impact that happened, multi thousands and thousands of years before anyone was even in the area, tens of thousands of years. And I don't know what it is. And I've been down there, and I've actually stood in the area, and you can see where they've dug back into the hillside and, done all these things. And it could have been ritualistic. There is that theory that it is ritualistic, because I believe there's an early report of someone standing there near the head and seeing this vortex come up and swirl. And, there's those who believe it's a portal area. So
that area still give off any radiation or any weird meter marks, anything like that?
I have never taken anything in there, and I do that out of respect. But there are people who used to dowse it, yes, and they swear that there's stuff there. Now, what's interesting, what you asked about, if you go down into the crater, which is literally, if you go from the head of the serpent down into that valley, that's the edge of the crater.
Oh
So,
wow, really?
yeah,
Huh.
yeah, it's right in that area. So if you go down into that crater, now what's neat about this is when that asteroid or comet or whatever it was that hit, they theorized it was a massive chunk of an asteroid, which could have broken off, I guess, but whatever. Anyway, when it hit on a fault line, which is very, very interesting because it actually shattered in that area. So you can go down there and you can still find shatter cone, impact breccia. There's all kinds of stuff down there.
Wow,
And
that's neat.
well, they swear that electromagnetic radiation in the area will mess up your batteries, like on equipment. It'll mess up, you know, anything that you take down there. Now, I've never went down there. I want to go down there. I am planning to go down there actually, um, but I haven't gone yet. But allegedly, when Ancient Aliens was there filming, they went down in there and they couldn't. They had issues with some of their equipment and whatnot as well. So, you know, true or not, I don't know, but you know, it's what I've heard. Oh yes, Graham Hancock and Serpent Mound. That was, yeah, that was great, wasn't it? You know, that's you have to be careful there because you know I've got friends who are on both sides of that argument, and you know, I like the place. I don't go there a lot. I'll go there maybe like 2, 3 times a year, something like that. But you don't talk about ancient aliens when you're in Serpent Mound. So I just want to tell you guys that. You know, they haven't quite figured out that it's put them on the map, and they're not really ready to embrace it for the most part. I don't
Yeah,
think.
I remember after that episode came out, they actually closed it from visitors for a while because they were tired of people coming out there.
Okay, so what happened with that? There was I think it was 2012, somewhere in there. I think it was
Yeah, somewhere around
2012.
there.
Well, okay. So here's why they really closed the area off the first time, is because a bunch of New Agers came in and they were burying the orgone devices in the mound. They're little crystals, you know, wrapped, wired kind of things. They were burying those in the mound and they were trying to activate the serpent mound. True story. That's a true story. That's a true story. So they had to go in there
Uh,
literally, and they dug into the mounds and removed these things. They're still there today. There's no way they got them all because they estimated there was hundreds of them at one point.
oh, those darn hippies ruin everything.
Age of Aquarius, man. What's the Dewster say? My wife Dee and I just got back from the LBL this afternoon, and Martin and I are going back early in the morning for an ongoing investigation. Oh
Oh,
my goodness, dude. Yeah, you guys be careful out there.
oh
Um,
yeah, he's out there with Hellbent Holler. That's right.
yeah, yeah, they're in the no man's land, but yeah, that's a fantastic place out there. If you guys have not, if you're not familiar with that lore, uh, Mr. Groves has a really really good book on it that you really need to read, and it cuts through some of the more what I don't know how to explain it to you. Let's just say that Martin, his story is more compelling than a lot that I have ever read on the subject, and I respect the man immensely, and I think he's telling the truth, and that should terrify people who've
Yeah, he
read the
actually had
books.
proof of it too.
Yeah, right. So that should really terrify people if you've read the book.
And
Um,
I tell you, like, listening to him talk about that at
yeah,
Wild and Weird Con last year, it
yeah,
gave me chills.
yeah, man. Yes, absolutely.
It was terrifying.
Yes. And you know, I've said it before. That's you know, hats off to you guys. That is one creature I don't tackle. Literally, if I hear the story about it, I'm going to call somebody else. That's
I'm not tackling one either. I'm going to run.
dude. I'm going to tell you what. This is the I've told this story before, like at other places. I don't know if I ever told it like on one of these before, but I want to tell you how weirded out I got about the whole. I'm just going to DM because I don't even like to say the name. I'm not kidding. So how I got all weirded out about the whole phenomena was me and my wife, we were hiking up at Cranberry, and we were back on a trail, and we were just walking around, and it was getting close to dark. And I didn't have any equipment with me, anything that day. It was just an honest to goodness natural hike because sometimes I do take the equipment with me. But we were out there just walking, and I was talking about Joe and Jesse, and I was talking about how they were in the LBL, and they had did some stuff and blah blah blah, and that's where she had got their the footage and stuff there before. And as soon as I said that, I'm walking up ahead the trail, and behind me is my wife, and I can hear her footsteps, and her footsteps stop. We just walk across this bridge, and her footsteps stop. I'm like, whoa, what? So I turned around real fast, and she's standing on the bridge, and she's just kind of looking around, down this little hallway. I'm like, what are you doing? And she said, oh, nothing, nothing. It was nothing. I was like, no, no, we don't do that. That's not how we do things. And she said, well, I swear I thought I saw I said, what'd you see? And she said, I swear I saw a big, some kind of it looked like a dog. It looked like a big wolf type thing, or a big
God.
hairy thing back there. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And I didn't look back. And that's the truth right there. At that point, I was like, holy goodness, because, me and Joe said it before. We think if you go looking for this thing, it looks for you. It's one of the things that will look for you. It has a way of following you, in my opinion. It's
I know that.
terrifying.
I know Dave Spinks has quite a bit of collection
You know,
of,
yep. Hmm.
sightings in this area.
Yeah, there, and that really blew my mind when he started working on that book, because I did the art for that, and he's like, "Hey, did you know?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't know," because
I didn't realize it was that common.
well, and we get into that whole thing of are we talking about a physical thing? I don't think we're talking about a physical thing at all. I think we're talking about something that can take physical form, but I don't think it's a physical thing. I mean, there's just too many little pieces of evidence that say that this thing could shift its shape. There
Mm.
are footprints that have changed. As the people have tracked it. It's just it's bizarre. It's beyond
I think it's a
bizarre.
little like the Hat Man, like you're not quite sure exactly what it might be,
Yeah, exactly. And
like
I
in
think
that
a lot of
category.
well, I think, and sometimes I think it's just a projection as well. I'm still going with that. There's something there. There's an intelligence to it, a very intelligent thing that can make you see things, and it may actually be able to change its shape for all I know. It's just something I'm not going to mess with. Check out Red Hollow Campground Booster. Hey, there's your tip, Dewey.
Oh, speaking of crossovers, in case you guys missed it, me and Ron were on Spooky Appalachia last week,
That's
our
right. We
live show.
were. That's right. And that was fun. That was so much fun. And we're going to return the favor here very soon, too. After reading Martin's book, I'm not in a hurry to get out to the LBL. Yes,
No.
Teresa. Yes, that is the right answer. Let's see. That's where I and another person found the trackway. Oh, okay. So that was at the Red Hollow campground then.
So I have a proposal. Any investigators out there who actually have physical evidence of Dogman, let us know.
You said the name, I didn't. James Ball,
Well,
did anyone see Joe and Jesse's live earlier today? I completely missed it. And I missed yesterday because we were out in the field. So I couldn't even go to the thing that Teresa was doing with the On Purpose project, which I absolutely love. And if you guys are local, you need to go check that out because it's a lot of fun. We always post the links up on the talk group. And someone gave us a heart. Look at that. Bless
I
you. Thank
saw
you.
on Hellbent Holler's live feed they did last, I think it was Monday. We were trying to do the podcast recording. I went in the room and watched it, and I saw something go off a pretty hot heat signature from behind a tree, and that freaked me out
Really?
because it didn't look like a deer or anything. Like I couldn't tell exactly what it was, but it was pretty hot. I was like, those guys are brave.
Uh-huh. Yeah, right. Yeah, Dewey's been going out there for a bit now, from what I understand, in the LBL, and he's been testing some some really cool equipment too, which I find is just so much appreciation for people who make their own stuff. I can't even stress that, and almost no one
Mhm.
does it anymore. That's what we used to do. It's what I used to do is make my own stuff, and then now everyone buys it. Nothing wrong with buying it, but if you can build it, man, you know what it's doing. Let's see.
It'd be fun to have Martin come on here and answer questions one time.
If we can nail Marty down, it would be good. I want to get Dewey on too. We've talked about that.
Yeah,
I want to get Dewey on for a like a good paranormal chat. I think we'd have a really good one. Yeah, check the replay of the stream. There you go. Saturday on our channel. So there you go. If you missed it, you can go check that out. We talked about a little bit of everything. We talked about UFOs and fake alien invasions and all kinds of fun stuff. Let's
yeah, when
see.
all that stuff was still going on.
Yeah,
Kind of died down now.
yeah. Well, isn't it amazing how that died down, and yet we're not talking about the biggest story ever, and that is the fact that an AI program has now found 8 possible signatures, extraterrestrial signatures that show signs of intelligence, and we're not even talking about that. That's okay. Just found your. Hey, look at that! You got you a sub, Spooky.
There you go.
Yeah. Have you guys tried this? Squeaky toys and rawhide chewies are needed when going to the LBL. That might actually work, Adam. That might actually work. And I think I might just throw some in the backpack just in case around here too.
I think a squeaky toy for them will be a person screaming from between
Oh
their
gosh.
jaws.
Yeah, right.
Like they got someone's
Dude.
leg and shaking them around, making them scream. That'd be a toy for them.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's just something that it's terrifying to me.
If they're as
So
big as Martin thought they were,
yeah, man. Absolutely. I mean, we're talking about something huge. Um, you know, I mean, we're kind of way off topic, but tonight's topic was supposed to be a little bit of a talk about mistaken Bigfoots, something like that, right? So I guess it's not so far off topic if you really think about it. But
I mean, I'll talk about Puppy Dude
hello,
all the time. That'd be fun.
hello from Berkeley County. Sorry, Berkeley County. Can't read, Larry. Sorry about that. There you are. Thanks
Way
for
out
the
there.
shout out. There you go. So, Brandon, I think we might be able to get to a little bit of the topic anyway. So, what do you think?
We've been talking about humanoid creatures for a while anyway.
We have been. So, we've got a good house. They're actually responding. I love this. So, let's ask them to be a part of this and see. Okay, so guys, everybody here. I mean, I know Dewey's already seen it, right? But how many of you guys have actually seen a bipedal creature of some sort besides humans, obviously? And we're going to wait just a bit because I'm telling you, it's more common, I think, than we're led to believe.
Yeah, even little people, like even that's part of the
Yeah.
category.
Yeah, it's bipedal. So little people, big people. It doesn't matter. Yes, Teresa. Yes, you did. I think you did too. I think it's more common than what we are led to believe. Hey, fish belly. Yes, I've seen one right there. Boom.
What was it
Um,
exactly?
yeah. Can
Yeah, give us some details. Come on,
yeah,
we're interested.
yeah. Give us a little bit of details. Saw something. There you go. This is what I want to see right here. I saw
Oh God.
something. There you go. Big, black with red eyes.
Oh, that's what that girl saw from that report.
Yep,
That's
right
the
there.
same thing she saw.
That's it. See? So yeah, and look, here's another one. Look. Larry O's. Yeah, I have. So now we have to ask ourselves, what are we seeing, right? I mean, okay, Adam hasn't seen anything yet. So that's one. Adam,
Adam, go look in the mirror.
oh man, but no, for real. So I think it's more common than what we attribute these
Oh,
things to. Yeah. I saw what looked like a dirty white Bigfoot in Lawrence County, Ohio. Teresa, right there.
What was it doing, Teresa?
Mm. I think she wrote that up. It's on one of
On her
her
blog?
yeah, I think it's on a blog. I'm pretty sure. I'm fairly sure. But what are we seeing? Can we be seeing a physical creature? Let's throw out the let's take just we're going to take away the supernatural part right now, Brandon. I mean, it's technically it's still on our table, but this is a hypothetical table. So let's just go flesh and blood for a sec. Is there a possibility that what the people have seen when it comes to Bigfoot could have an actual scientific explanation?
Yeah,
Yeah,
possibly. Yeah.
yeah, and I think that we could be dealing with something that's a leftover, a holdback from our early days, so to speak. And if that's the case, everyone said, well, where are they hiding? I mean, well, there's a lot of places to hide. I mean, look at all the caves, right? Let's get caught up here. Doop. I need a book deal and rights to the toy collection, Lucas Allen. Okay, so Adam, that's 10% is what you're going to get on the toy collection because that's what
But you're not getting George Lucas money.
that's what George got originally. That's what he opted for was 10% on any of the toy lines that were made. Smartest business deal anyone's made, I think. And Teresa, I did it. It's on her blog. So I was hiding in the tall. It was hiding in the tall grass at an overgrown cemetery. It stopped and headed up the hill, but thanks to some info from you, Brandon, I think it did the spider walk thing. Whoa, are you
It's creepy.
serious? Dudes, I'm not going to kid you guys. Until we did that episode, I had never heard of anything like that before.
It's really weird. It's hard to visualize it in your head.
Yeah,
There's some drawings of what it might look like, but like people swear these things can move as fast as a car when they're walking like that. I
that's
have no
just
idea how.
that's crazy. Fish belly, large dark figure standing 15 feet from me, ran in the dark 30 yards in a creek bed, stood in the trees swaying. I was checking the trap line very early in the morning. Wow.
That definitely sounds squatchy because they'll weave back and forth
Yeah.
behind a tree to watch.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah, these behaviors
it's
of
even
these
an old
things.
hunter trick. Like when you're trying to spot an animal and
Mhm.
just like hide yourself so they can't keep an eye on you.
It had disappeared from view, but we could still hear it. And there's no way that it could have reached the trees that quickly, Teresa says. Yeah, I mean, and there's that again, right? The ability for these things just to boom and disappear. And a lot of times that's mistaken, or I'm not going to say mistaken because we don't know. That a lot of times that's interpreted as these supernatural abilities to just disappear. Well, maybe it is, but could it also be that these things have been around so long they know every inch of the
I mean,
territory?
it was just recently that they announced a new human subspecies off our own family tree.
There you go. Exactly. And
We were going to
that's
talk about that.
yeah, yeah. I was trying to find the image. I was going to throw that up here, but I think when we crashed, I lost almost all that stuff, which is absolutely incredible to me. That I blame the Men in Black. Like I said, Agent John Stone. Well played, sir. Well played. Yeah, I don't see it. So yeah, it's pretty much erased all my prep material. So we're winging it anyway. Um, I don't even have a chart on here. Do you have anything, Brandon?
Yeah, hang on. I still have it. It's in my history.
I'm looking for it. No. Well, anyway, I found a chart. We can look at that. So I'll put this up here because this kind of gives us an idea, right? Because we think that these lines are just extinct, right?
Homo floresiensis. That's who it was.
Ah,
Got it
yes, yes,
now.
yes. So, and that is right in this region here. Um, you see it branch off right here near Homo sapiens. But
Y-
okay, so all of these are
huh.
basically candidates, right?
Crazy to me is these things adapted to their surroundings so well that they didn't grow any taller than 2 feet. That's
Right.
crazy to me that there's no predators that live near them that could eat them when they're 2 feet tall.
Yeah, and what's really neat about them is they're the closest to us, I think, on the timeline, right? Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah, they were still alive when probably around when Karahan Tepe was being built. Probably around
Wow.
then.
Wow. If you now see, now you it really draws it all together, doesn't it? Now you really realize that we are not that far away from some of these uh I mean, we call them legends now, but these legendary creatures, so to speak, you know.
There were We were also alive the same time. Of course, Neanderthals were, but also Homo erectus was still around when we first showed up.
Right?
We're still floating around in Africa, I believe.
Right. When the ship landed, right? No, I'm kidding. That's a different show. That's a completely different show. I did get a report. This is Spooky Appalachia. I did get a report from someone that I need to dig up of a white wolf like creature. She thought was the size of a house. Wait,
Oh
what?
my God!
Size of a
How?
house? Okay, and this is the funny part. Okay, let's go back, and we're gonna get sidetracked again for a second because that draws me
Go
right
for it.
into screen images, right? Because it's obviously the size of a house, but if I can make you think that that's what you're seeing, I can elicit fear in you. I can make you get away from the area very quickly. And we can't say that that's not what some of these things are actually doing.
And if I saw Clifford the big red dog, I'd probably be terrified too.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I'm terrified. You know, today in LBL, we heard what sounded like a heavy metal door either open or closing. It was loud, and instantly the woods became deadly silent. Birds stopped chirping, and frogs went silent from Dewey.
Predator.
From Dewey. Now, okay, yes, but also during some encounter experiences, exactly what Dewey just said. There's a metallic sound, and there's this cone of silence, as it's called, where everything just stops. Sometimes the wind even stops, Brandon. Everything dies, literally. And that's been reported in various paranormal type phenomena, experience type things. Oh, it's also been very much reported in contact experiences, abductions, early abduction cases. Yeah, so he even said the birds stopped chirping, frogs, everything went silent. And again, we have to say, man, what are we dealing with?
Well, I can tell
Um,
you that one time when I saw a big black cat out in the woods, that all the squirrels ran up the trees and immediately stopped barking when this thing showed up.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've witnessed that myself.
Uh, Teresa, I've heard legends of old bunkers hidden in the woods. I wonder if it could be something like that.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
LBL, that wouldn't shock me.
Oh, man. Larry, here we go. What I saw was about 5 foot tall, dark in color. I believe we caused it to run across the power line. The group I was with was about 100 yards in front of me, making a bunch of noise and riding bikes. No one else saw it. Yeah. Did we took up a defensive position near our vehicles, but never saw any movement in the trees. I set up the parabolic, but have not had time to listen to it yet.
That would be interesting if that recorded
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You could really analyze it then and see what it
Yep.
might have
Let's see. From James Boggs. I have heard, read, etc., that Homo sapiens are the oldest race that we know of. Uh, wait. What? Hang on. It's just as much what you don't hear as what you do hear. Yeah, exactly. And I'm trying to get caught up. I think we got one more, and that's Adam. I have a few beings that people see around me. So yeah, and I know what you're talking about. So back to the possibility that we're dealing with one of these branches of mankind, Brandon. Um, Flores. This one, where's it at? Um, I believe there's a picture of it right here, right? Yeah, there we go. Homo florensis. Yes. Florescensis. Sorry. So that's the Hobbit. That's the little one that they found, and this made news everywhere. By the way, when it was, when it was discovered, and that was in 2003. But yeah, man, this is a very interesting thing, and I'm with you. It's like it's so small, yet could it? Could this be a root of some of these legends? Because we have the legends of the little people. I mean, you don't get much littler, right? I mean, at least the evidence points to the fact. So were they finding these bones, or something that kind of led them to believe that there was? You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, or they might actually still be around.
Or they might still be around. Well, we had the footage that that little guy jumping out in the trail with the bike a few
Oh
years
yeah, that
ago.
was
Remember
good.
that? You remember
Yeah,
that,
it looked like
right?
a naked person too,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Had a little spear, or not spear. It was like a staff or
carrying
something.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It was like a
tree
little.
branch or something like that.
Yeah, man. Might have been a magical wand.
Um,
I don't know.
I could see too those little people sightings that are really common in North America. I could see maybe someone thinking that was a foot tall from a distance.
Yeah, yeah.
That small.
How'd you get a picture of Uncle Ted? Uncle Ted's gonna be really happy about that. But so that's one possibility that some of these things that people are seeing out there, it's some kind of a branch of us that didn't quite get the us treatment, I guess is what I'm trying to say, right? Because there are those who believe that we have changed, and obviously the fossil record says we have changed, and whatever that's by, that's anyone's, that's up to anyone to interpret. It doesn't really matter. But
There
there
could
was
be
some
some
very
factors too as to why their numbers aren't higher. Like when humans came around, we could have introduced
predator.
diseases that they weren't immune to.
Mhm. Yeah.
We could be encroaching on their habitat, so they don't have a lot of space to move around. We've probably also killed off a lot of their prey,
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think that there's a good possibility that if we are dealing with the flesh and blood thing, that it is absolutely some kind of a offshoot, missing link, so to speak, that's managed to hide out and hide away from us
Yep.
smartly. Very smart. Obviously, it's intelligent. Um, and it probably did so because of all the encounters it's had in the past. And we know what happens when a technologically advanced society meets a Stone Age type society, which you
Yeah.
would assume that's what they are, right? Because has there been any reports of a Bigfoot actually using like a spear or anything like that you know of?
Um, in the Native American stories, yeah, but modern sightings, I don't think I've ever
But
heard
in
of that.
modern sightings, not right. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. Um, it kind of seems like, I don't know. It's to me, me, man. I'm on the boat that it's not 100% physical. So I'm not gonna lie to you and say that there's 100% evidence that it is physical. There is evidence that it can be physical, yes, but there's also that weird stuff that we just can't explain with the physical data set. It doesn't fit that part of the
Out the
puzzle.
loop.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit. But if it were physical, I would think that these things would have tools. I would think that they would be structured enough to where you know, they're doing these things. There's certain ways to teach and whatnot. And we always get the thing about, well, if they were real, where's the bodies, right? That kind of thing. Well, there's evidence that they've actually covered up bodies, right? I mean, that's one of the stories that Yeah, they've been observed doing almost like a funerary ritual or some sort.
I mean, some really intelligent species of mammals will bury their dead. Like elephants will try to sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, that's an
They'll
absolute.
throw sticks and leaves on elders and their family that pass away, so predators can't get to them.
Yeah, yeah, and
Even chimps and stuff sometimes do that.
yeah, I mean, so it's not beyond a reason to me that that says, I know that's one of the big rallying calls of skeptics is there's no body, but maybe it's just that we don't know what a Bigfoot grave looks like. I mean,
Yeah,
that's that kind of there's that Occam's razor for you right there. I mean, maybe we don't know what we're looking for. It's not like a Bigfoot's probably going to go out there and erect a 10-foot headstone or, you know,
or if
maybe
you
maybe
want to get really dark, maybe they cannibalize their dead.
yeah, they could, man. But there has been I believe instances where they have been allegedly seen um, with the dead doing these strange ritual behaviors to where they're actually I guess burying or uh, interring them, and then when they find out that someone is watching them, they come and take the body away.
There's also stories of people who supposedly kill Bigfoot and then they
That's
come
right.
back and the body's gone.
That's right. Yeah. It's almost like you're just not going to get that body. And again, skeptics say, well, no body, no Bigfoot. It's just that simple to them. But
Well, if they're like a lot of primate species, they travel in groups. So if you kill one, you're gonna have to kill like three or four more.
mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you're
Good
right.
luck getting that body.
Yeah, I just don't think it's that simple. And I think that that's one of the things we have to really look at as far as that goes. Oh yeah, James. He's asking about the little guy with the spear in the video. Um, we'll find that. It's actually on the talk page somewhere. I'll have to dig it up, and I'll get a
I'll find it real quick.
link. Yeah, can you get a link up there for him for that because it's pretty interesting. I got to say, it's very very interesting. How an advanced species interact with us? Bingo, man. That's what I'm saying. Good question, Fish Belly. Adam, have you heard of the island of Sulawesi in Indonesia where the people disappear? Yes, yes. Adam Boggs, Adam actually. Is this the place where they only wear black and white? So they're talking back and forth. Obviously, yes, it is. Um, so have you found it yet?
Yeah, I just posted it.
Did you get it? Okay, cool. All right. So let's look at the big guy here because we do hear a lot about the possibility that there you go. So how could something that big hide?
I don't think it really would be hiding.
I mean, how could something this big hide? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, if that is a possibility, if we can go into like and say a Gigantopithecus is still around. How can that hide? Like, where is that staying? Is that in caves? Is it making its own habitation zones? I mean, these are huge creatures, man.
Well, maybe if they stayed somewhere that has really thick foliage, like our mountains do in the springtime and summertime,
Hmm.
it stays crouched down. Then
Yeah.
maybe, yeah.
Now, I mean, we've got obviously a lot of stuff around here that can facilitate, I guess, a creature moderate size, but I don't think it's going to be that size. And someone asked earlier about orang pendek when we were talking about the little, with the spear. And yeah, that is one of the prominent theories that is what that may have been. And it spurred on a lot of research too, which is great because it's not just, uh,
Yeah, because Ring Pendek is said to be about the same height as Florenz
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Yeah. Which makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like how related those two things actually are.
Yeah, that one in that video is really short. It's like the size of a middle school kid.
Hmm.
Like it's not a very big being at all.
Okay, Dewey. Guys, I'm going to drop out of the chat. I'll be continuing to watch on the big screen. Good night. Good night, my friend. Be safe in
Yeah,
the
Dewey,
LBL out there. And we look forward to seeing you back, my friend.
your dog man or a DM repelling on you.
It's too late, Brandon. You've already summoned it.
Puppy dude. I'm gonna start calling him that.
The puppy dude. Okay, that works. That worked. As far as I know, Gigantopithecus remains were found to date are teeth, one jawbone, and we only have scientists to tell us what it was. Yes, absolutely correct. That is a fact. They've only found very small fragments, and yet somehow we managed to create these massive models of what these things are supposed to be.
The thing that bugs me.
Gail, thank you for coming and good night, my friend. We will see you next time.
The thing that
Um,
bugs me is like I can understand how they could get an approximate size of it, but how do you get the skull? How do you get the shape of the skull, the
I don't,
cheekbones,
yeah, that's the part
all
that
that? How
gets
do you get all?
me. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And I'm agreeing with you, man. I absolutely
look
agree
at
with
it
you.
too. It just looks like they took an orangutan and blew it up.
Yep.
A lot of those reproductions.
Hmm. It really does. So I don't know how they arrived to those conclusions. It's kind of like when they find the dinosaurs, I guess. Little, they'll find a tarsal, this big, and then they'll
Have you ever
figure out.
seen? Have you ever seen the dinosaur fossils from like the late 1800s that they assembled incorrectly?
Yeah, they're great, and that's a great example. And I think
Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly what he was talking about there. What James is talking about. It's like, how do they do this? I mean,
Hmm.
unless we have a time machine they're not telling us about. No, but yeah, man, I don't know how they do it, James. I really don't, because it could have been anything. And like he says here, exactly, that could have been a giant human. Gee, couldn't it have though? And again, we go into that territory because we really have to. We have to address that giant issue, and we have to address the pygmy issue as well. Look, Adam already has the
That's like
pygmy
in almost every
tribes
culture.
that road
I
goes.
can't remember what the name the Greeks called it, but little people in Greek culture were like terrifying. Oh, Hawaiians have that too.
Yeah.
They have those little miniature people that rode on boats and would attack them.
Well, yeah, dude. Well, we
Yeah.
we all have that, and there was oh, what is the one, the Pukwudgies, the
Oh yeah.
what's the one down the Catawba Reservation in the Carolinas? I can't think of the name. I was down there and did an actual little bit of an investigation, and I can't think of the name. I can't believe that.
There's also the what do they call it in Pennsylvania, the Apple Witch or something like that.
Abowitch.
Yeah.
Yep. Or Abatwitch. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to find that. I can't think of the name of that, and it's going to bother me. You know me, man. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh well. Anyway, well, that's disappointing. But yeah, so I think that we can say that if we are dealing with a actual physical creature, um, there is evidence that we can pull from that will help us paint that picture. But we could also pull from other evidence against that. And that's where I'm at with this. I can't see, that's why I can't go 100% flesh and blood, guys. I mean, I just can't do it. I can't, because there's just too much of this weird stuff that I can't explain that seems to be connected with this stuff. And as
I
Joe
think that's
says,
fair.
yeah, well, as Joe says, can there be two things?
Mhm.
Yeah, there could be. There absolutely could be. But we get into the point now to where we have to differentiate between those things. I'll give you a little bit of a behind the scenes, because there's a few of you here, and we were at Wineberry, and there's if you know the story, if you watch the video, if you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. That's the site in Wyoming County where we went and investigated for the first time and cut the big footprint. Well, the well, her name's Beth. She doesn't care anymore. The witness is she's very proud of it. Uh, the witness, Beth, she had seen something a few years back before, and we were just kind of recording and trying to get her story. But where she had seen this thing was literally right underneath this big high voltage power line that just runs right down the valley, you know. And the theory is a lot, you know, that these are land cleared areas, and it makes a big a pathway where obviously if you're going to be looking down that pathway, you can see something walking
right
across
away.
there. Yeah, it's a right away. So, and it's also this big clearing where you can just kind of look down, and you're going to be more apt to see something walking across that field, you know.
Yep.
Well, that may be true, but as I was there, I decided to pull out the tri-field meter just to get an idea, just just an idea of what we were dealing with as far as EM radiation was concerned. I have never seen EM radiation that high ever. It pegged the meter, dude. It absolutely pegged the meter on electromagnetism and uh, the magnetic setting as well. So
Wow.
yeah. So
Is there anything nearby that might have caused that, like power lines or anything?
it is the power line. It's the high voltage power line. It goes right down that right away where she saw this thing all those years ago. So, and a lot of these sightings happen on those power line areas. And I was kind of just throwing it back and forth with Joe. I'm like, man, you know, we showed how EM radiation can really affect the brain of humans and make us see things and make us feel things. And I got to tell
We
you
used to
guys,
joke when I was a kid, whenever some kid was crazy, we'd be like, "Oh, they probably live under power lines."
okay, it's no joke.
Yeah,
When I was
real
there,
thing.
I was taking those measurements. You could hear those things humming. You could
You can
actually
hear the
smell.
buzzing, yeah, in your
Yeah,
head. You can hear it.
you can hear it, and you can actually you can smell the ozone, which is dangerous. Uh, and as I'm standing there, I got the most uneasy feeling, just this like get out kind of feeling. It was weird, and so I did. I got out of the way, but I'm thinking, man, that affected me like that. What if? What if we go with the Bigfoot's a physical creature now, right? What if you have a physical creature? Its mind's not fully developed like ours, obviously. And we know that these electromagnetic frequencies, they interfere with birds, they interfere with other animals. Well, what if you see those guys in those power line cuts, not because it's a right of way, but because either something's drawn them into that area, or I mean, it's a fascinating what if. And I really had not even thought about it. And if we hadn't did those shows for the past couple of weeks, I would never have even considered that as a possibility.
Kind of wonder if they're putting off also like a sound frequency that we can't hear that might
Oh, I
mess
think
with them,
so.
that buzzing. Because like I know
Oh
that
yeah.
with windmills, they used to kill a lot of birds, and they found out it was because they were putting off a sound frequency that only birds can hear. It would cause the birds to fly straight into the windmill propellers.
Yeah, man. And they had to make didn't they have to put something on them to make them make noise so they would
Yeah, they put
yeah.
like a hole or something in one of the blades that stops that sound or something. I forget what it is.
Yes.
I know
Yeah.
they had to go. I think there was a law that was passed that they had to change the windmill slightly for that. I can't remember, but
I'm just popping some of these up there for you guys. Yes, and we agree with that, guys. We love to see the same people, honestly. I've always said, it's going to be great when we have hundreds and hundreds of people, but I will never forget our first loyal, 10 to a dozen people who come in, and those will always they'll always be special to us. That's for sure. You've always got
maybe
our
we'll
back.
bring you on the show one day.
Oh, absolutely. Count on it. If you've got a story and you want to be on, yeah, reach out. Look what happened to Tesla and living around power transference methods. There you go, Adam. Yep, good point, my friend. We're all a little spooky family. Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, we are,
Not many of
Teresa.
us.
Yes. And we were talking about that not too long ago. It's like everyone thinks that this community is just this, it's massive. It's not. It's
No.
so small. And, these everyone needs to get along because we are small and we are going to get gobbled up by these, some of these, I'm going to call them actors because they are. I mean, there's actors on TV, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people who aren't really researchers, who are kind of portraying researchers because it's popular, and the real researchers are going to have to really just band together to this kind of show that that's not what we do. We don't do that stuff. We actually are not out here trying to be seen as much. I mean, my gosh, we do more. I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, there's so much we've done that if we ever actually put it all together, like I could probably make videos and not never leave this room, but I don't really want to do that. Sometimes I just want to get out there and turn the look at that. There's the ghost. It's back again. And turn
Men
the
in Black again.
yeah, man. Look at that. Isn't that wild? I don't know why it's doing that. You check that out. So I just want to get out there sometimes and just walk the trails and see what's out there. I don't really want to go and make a production or
Yeah, I did my first actual Bigfoot investigation a couple weeks ago when we went to Canal State Forest.
hold the conversation right there. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
And it's the first time I actually took a notebook and everything with me to write down evidence, take pictures. It's actually pretty fun if you go out there and actually look around. I really encourage everybody to go do that. If anything you're interested in, you should definitely go out there and be hands on with it because it's a lot more fun. And even if you don't find anything, at least you got out of the house. Yeah, that's a big thing in the ghost community, James. They believe that ghost activity picks up a lot during thunderstorms.
I'm getting good at this now. Check that out. What I miss?
I was just talking about James's comment down there.
Hey,
The
oh,
ghost
doors.
community, they believe thunderstorms really pick up all the activity.
Hmm. Yeah, and the theory on that, James, is the ionization, and it's kind of like what I was talking about under that big, under that high voltage power line. The ionization there was just insane. The radiation was insane, and that's also how a lot of people will build these, the EM pumps and whatnot. That's the theory that you're feeding the phenomena, so to speak, and
That's
it's going to use
supposedly
that
one of the
energy.
experiments they did on Skinwalker Ranch too. They took a massive generator and put
Yep.
these metal spikes in the ground and pumped pure electricity into the ground to see if it would trigger anything.
Yep.
Supposedly, that was what caused those weird blob orb things to hover above the ground one time.
Yeah, man. I
It
mean,
gives me
there's
chills thinking about that.
there's something to that stuff, guys. I'm not kidding you. There's really something to that stuff, but do be careful if you decide to go that route because
Poke the bear.
you poke the bear, as Travis would say. You also expose yourself to unbelievable amounts of electromagnetic radiation. And for minuscule amounts of time, that's okay. But if you're in that area for a while, it can mess you up.
Didn't they also pick up?
Yes,
I
James.
think it was on last season of Skinwalker Ranch. They picked up electrical signals from the ground.
No, that was coming from above the ranch, and it was a it's 1.6, or I think it was 1.6 gigahertz frequency or something like that
Oh
they kept
yeah, I kept
getting.
messing with their equipment. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I was trying to hack them.
that's what inspired us to get a spectrum analyzer. To be honest with you, and good investment, by the way. Works really well. Let's see what we got. John Wilkie, experiencer of high strangeness and an actor. Just had a friendly chat with him and his book, Solar Obliteration, on the method of filming UFOs around the sun. I've actually heard of this method, by the way, of what they used to do. I think it's the same thing where you kind of blot the sun out, create an artificial eclipse, and you can see stuff around it. Is that what you're talking about, Adam?
I've
Um,
seen pictures of that before.
yeah, yeah.
People try to dismiss it as like gas blobs that come off the sun,
Mm-hmm.
all the activity on it.
Oh, there's all kinds of crazy stuff. What do you say?
Investigate Chernobyl.
Wonder
Yes, they
if
have actually.
anyone ever investigated. Oh gosh, yeah, yes,
Yep.
yes, absolutely, yes. And there's some wonderful
Um,
stories that Travis can tell you about Chernobyl. Oh man, really good stories actually.
Jeremy Wade actually was allowed to go fish there one time.
Hmm. Yeah, there's massive. I think Travis was talking about the catfish in one of the ponds. They're incredibly huge. Compass works also. What I used back in the day. That's right, James. We used to use compasses and reel tapes, if you remember, actual cassette tapes.
Oh,
And
what's curious is that
hmm?
Jeremy actually caught pygmy catfish, like catfish that were like half the size, but they were fully matured because of the
Yeah, they're
radiation.
mutated. Yeah, they're mutated. I mean, Travis was telling me about some of the wolves over there. You just can't even imagine. I mean, we're talking about wolves, you know, tall, really tall wolves,
I've heard that there's a lot of
human.
dogs that live in the area that are hairless because of the radiation.
Oh wow, wouldn't surprise me. Did Zach Bagans investigate Chernobyl? Did he? I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, if
I don't
anyone's
think you
going
can
to,
actually go inside of it.
you can go. You can only go for so long. I mean, you can't now, obviously, but you're talking about the actual town. Um, I
What's
think
that
it
town
is
called?
Pripyat.
Yep, right.
Yeah, and
You go to the
yeah,
buildings and like, but you can't take anything out of it because
yeah,
it's so irradiated still.
yep, yep.
They make you wear a detector on your hip, and whenever
She
your
said,
detector gets too high, you have to leave.
"Uh-huh, that's it." No, it was Josh on Destination Truth, I think, and that does sound kind of familiar to
Sounds like
me.
something Josh Case would do. I'd
Hmm.
love to have him on the show one
Oh
time.
gosh, geez, that ain't gonna happen. You would have a better chance of getting Giorgio Tsoukalos, to be honest with you. It just
Be
ain't gonna
fun too.
happen. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. None of those things are gonna happen.
Listen, all we gotta do is wait for them to come close to us. We'll just bombard him with free stuff,
Free stuff, yeah. There you
and
go.
maybe he'll come.
But we do have Reverend Michael Carter. He will be coming back on Ancient Aliens alum,
Maybe
and
he could put a good word in with Giorgio.
he will be joining us again very shortly for an upcoming episode. So you'll definitely want to stay tuned for that one. That'll be a fun one. We may do live. I don't know. It could happen. Let you guys ask Michael some ancient alien questions.
And last time he was on, I was watching the episode. And I just zoned out listening to him talk. It was such a good episode. Oh, we lost Ron again. Ron, if you can hear me, please put on your tinfoil hat because you start having thoughts that weren't your own. They might just seem like your real thoughts, but they're not.
I know we've had
There he is.
issues all evening long, but I am so glad it's happening with you, Brandon, because you're actually getting to experience what happens, when you got to run the show yourself. That's good,
Well, it
man.
also happened to me when we tried to record on Monday.
It did. Yeah, it kept happening to you. That's right. I forgot about that. Hey guys, does anyone before we're getting ready to sign off here, but does anyone have any suggestions that you would like to see covered on the live show? We've got a pretty good list for the actual podcast that I think you're all going to be really, really happy about. We're going to be tackling some really cool subjects that are coming up that we have not tackled before that were kind of taboo in the old days, but we don't care anymore. Uh, so if there's anything that you really want to talk about, or if you'd like to come on and sit up here in one of these little square areas, maybe over there, you can sit up right up there by Mothman's eyes, maybe right in this area. Yeah. If you want to come on the show, just speak up and let us know, and we'll make that happen. But if there's anything in particular you want to see us tackle to discuss on the lives, because it's really a lot of fun. I like to do this with everybody, more so than just having a show. That's fun too. But I really liked getting the talks. Teresa, you want to come on? Is that a yes? Do I have a yes right there? I think
That'd be
that
fun.
might be what that is.
You could talk about.
She can talk about anything.
Oh, Ron, don't forget listener tales.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Do that. Do that. I'm going to write
Okay,
down some stuff.
so
You go ahead and do that.
came up with this idea when we were on Spooky Appalachia, actually. So check out that if you want to find out how we thought of this. But if you have any ghost encounters, personal ghost encounters, or maybe somebody close to you, something happened to them, send it to us. And next week, we'll read it out loud on the show. And if you want us to, we'll even mention your name.
Spooky James. Spooky is actually scheduled up next to be the next guest. So yeah, got that going on, and apparently Teresa's going to be right after Spooky. So that sounds great. We've got some good local hometown stuff, and I like that. That's going to be
I think
wonderful.
Spooky's going to be on when we read the listener tales, right?
Is that what it is?
I think
That
so.
that'll be
Next
awesome.
week, yeah.
That'll be awesome. Guys, also don't forget March 15th is coming up. If you haven't seen by now, I've been kind of making these little art pieces and whatnot for World Contact Day. That is coming up. That is a real thing. It is a real thing. I promise. Didn't make it up. And we're gonna be doing a special for World Contact Day. You're definitely going to be wanting to be a part of that because you're going to win something very, very cool and very, very one of a kind. You're actually going to get an original a piece that was used to create something. And that's all I'm going to say about that for right now. But you're going to go home with the actual original. And man, it's going to be cool for somebody. Somebody's going to win it. There's only one. So it's going to be really cool.
Guys, I'll drop the link to where you can submit it on the website. But they can also email it to us, right, Ron?
Yes,
Friday.
absolutely. Let me pop the address up here for you guys. Yeah, if you guys are interested, I'm going to pop the address up here. Just send your there you go. Just send over your info and say I'm interested in coming on the show, and we'll get you scheduled. I mean, we'll have you scheduled to come on one of the lives. You can sit here and be a guest host, so to speak, or you can tell your stories or your accounts, whatever you want to do. I mean, this is about building the family. So yeah, let's keep building it.
Yeah, believe me, it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Even when things go wrong, it's a lot of fun. And thanks you guys for the patience and following us back out here for the second stream because I don't know what happened tonight. I guess we'll say aliens and be done with it. But something was definitely up and messed the stream up, and you guys found us. So that's awesome. And like I said, that's dedication. That's my people. So, guys, as always, you know how it goes. Joe's not here to ramble on all this stuff, but I'll give it my best. You can find us literally anywhere. Obviously, wherever podcasts are found, you're going to find us. But we really want you over here on our YouTube so we can do cooler things. So make sure that you're over here and you do subscribe and share it. Share it with your friends. Share it with your groups that you're in, etc. And let's start packing these rooms and open it up and getting more content and more ideas in here. We've got some really cool stuff that is going to be coming up very soon. I've got a new instance of the investigation series that we're doing. That'll be up very soon. That'll be on the YouTube. And when we say our YouTube, remember it's not just Wild and Weird Radio. It's Wild and Weird everything, and that's where we post it all up. Of course, the episodes are there as well for the radio, but you're going to find other extras. You'll get to see the UAP footage and stuff like that before anyone else ever gets to see it. Speaking of which, Brandon, we will be doing a special on that later this year, and you guys don't want to miss that. That'll be happening before the Withville UFO conference. I'll get you all the dates and whatnot on that as well. But before that happens, we will be sharing some of our data here with our fans and let you guys see that stuff and draw your own conclusions because I don't know what's going on out there. Anyway, you can find me at TikTok at the_Mothman_artist. You can find me at Lanham Ron on Instagram. Joe's over there on TikTok as Joe Purdue. He's original. And Skinwalker_sculpts on Instagram. Brandon, you are where?
On Instagram at Brandon_writes_horror and Twitter at horror Brandon.
And yeah, so that's where you can find some of the stuff that we do. I posted up actually this week. If you're following me over there on TikTok, you got to see some of the things I've done as far as video goes. I am not posting any videos to Facebook. If you wondered what happened, the truth is I got hacked. And so I just completely quit posting anything over there until situations are resolved. I am not going to be posting much over there at all, other than stuff for Wild and Weird, and that's it. There won't be anything else until I can get things.
I keep getting in trouble for stuff I posted like 10 years ago.
Well, you know. Well, at least it wasn't a bunch of folks from Thailand who were hacking into your account and posting inappropriate material. That was great.
Why you need to set up multi-factor authentication.
It is set up.
Oh, it is? They got through that?
It is. It's set up now. No, it is set up now, so it's okay. But I'm still not doing it yet. I'm actually on a ban for the next 10 days still. They got me on a 29-day ban for something I didn't do, which is wonderful. And so it's just the principle of the matter. So if you guys want to see what I'm really doing, go over to my TikTok, watch it there. I promise it'll be worth it. And they're not very long, they're short. And obviously you can watch your stuff here too. I mean, we post all of our really good videos over here on YouTube. This is our main channel now anyway. Thank you, James. Thank you for enjoying the show. I'm glad you enjoyed it, even with all of its little hiccups and whoopsies. And you know what, Adam? It might have been Sky Daddy McConaughey who caused all this, now that I think about it.
All right.
It could be. Anyway, so guys, thank you all for hanging out with us on your Thursday. I know you got other things to do, and it's great when you come over and hang out with us. So until next time, everyone. What is you want to do it, Brandon? You never did it.
Closing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Remember, folks, if you see something big and hairy out in the woods, it's either Bigfoot or it could be where Joe is right now.
Yeah, it absolutely could be. Hey, stay wild and weird, everybody. We'll catch you out there.